What is going on, everybody? My alternator came today for my truck, so I decided to go ahead and install it while the weather is really nice outside. Nice 80-degree day, getting close to my B-day. Just need basic tools. It's a 3/8 drive ratchet set, little 10-piece set I got from Harbor Freight. Real cheap set. Do what it need to do though. My heavy duty tools are at work, of course. Ordered it from Amazon. Came in a nice box. Only $100. I've been having small issues with my alternator, which this is the alternator. I don't know, it was weird. My lights was flashing in the inside of my car, flickering a lot. And that flickering, sometimes it'll flicker so bad that I would have had to pull over to see, what the hell is going on. I do have the ground. Sometimes when it does that, this ground wire over here, the chassis ground, doesn't have a good strong connection. I double checked that, which it is a good strong connection. As you can see, I got a couple wires ran off of there. One is for my HID lights. I have electric fan installed on here that I installed myself. You see that's the relay for it right there. I drilled a little hole and ran the wires on the inside of there so I can run it in there and still have my clutch fan hooked up. I know you see all the lone wires to try to have a little bit of a neat setup. See my positive setup, which it could be better, but it's efficient. Of course, I have a stereo system in here. One is to power everything else, one is for my stereo system. Also ran an additional 0-gauge wire from my alternator to my battery, just for added support, along with this wire running from the alternator to the fuse box, which runs to the other side of the car, which powers everything on the inside of the vehicle. The other wire also comes up and runs into the battery, so to keep everything nice, charged up and running. But that was the issue I was having. It took me a while to figure out some things, ran some tests. I haven't got my alternator tested. Because after I actually looked at the vehicle, I went over to the fuse box and pulled the battery fuse. I decided to check the fuses to make sure all of them were good and in decent shape. And when I pulled the battery fuse, which is this one, on the vehicle, if you got the same vehicle, it wasn't in horrible shape. Am I right? Is that the battery fuse? Oh, I'm sorry. This is the battery fuse, the second from the top. It's my fault. Second from the top is the battery fuse. They have a whole diagram in there. And once I did that, I cleaned it up and put it back in, and the problem kind of went away. I had already ordered the alternator, so I didn't want to chance it. So I said, only $100. I done had this alternator on the car for a year. The person I bought it from, I'd had it on the car for over a year. Look at that spider. Get off my car. Person I bought it from had it sitting for 2 years. So this is essentially a 3-year-old alternator that sat for 2 years, and I had it for 1 year. Well, over a year. I bought it last in 2017 of August, and now it's October of 2018. So it wouldn't hurt to replace it, especially with a brand new one. I'm definitely not going to toss it, because shit, it may be some good, I don't know. Be good to have a spare alternator just in case I need it. My tool bag is in here. Where is it? Way in the back, of course. So let me go back there. This is my stereo system that I installed on here. We go to the other side. tried to do it a little bit custom. I didn't want it to just be plain Jane. And that's pretty much it. You guys can see 2 Hyphonic matching amps, 1 sub and 1 4-channel. I drilled holes in a piece of plywood that I got from Home Depot. I drilled holes in it so I can have different areas where I can run wires up through it. As you see, that kind of worked out pretty darn good. I painted the board to try to match the color of the vehicle. It didn't turn out the greatest, but it did. As you can see, all them stains in the carpet, kids in the back wasting stuff. It was another reason I didn't want it mounted to the carpet, because somebody waste a drink or anything like that, and then my amp would just be sitting there soaking on the damn drain. Ooh, look, somebody left some money for me. I bought that 10 farad Planet Audio capacitor to help the amp from not taking such a beating, or the battery, so it stores power simply for my sub amp, which is over there. It's a decent sized amp, sounds pretty decent, and that's it. Let me pop the back open so I can get my tool bag out the back. I know you all see this lock. I done had this lock for 5 or 6 years. One of the best theft deterrent locks in my opinion, because it has to get cut off and it wraps around the brakes. So it allows the person who is attempting to steal the vehicle not to be able to brake. That's my head unit, a Kenwood. I bought it off OfferUps. It's okay. It's a decent radio. I didn't want anything too cheap. Of course, I got new speakers in all the doors, different things like that. I put this dash mat on here, man. It looks so good to me. Because my dash, you know, it's an older vehicle, so my dash is terrible. It gets hot down here in Texas. So when they sit out in the sun, they start to fade after a while. And you have to, I wanted it to look decent, sit and park, so I bought a little cheap dash mat, man. Another Amazon item. I'm a big Amazon user. I think it was only about 50 bucks, custom fit, and it works and looks great, man. This is the box I had in my Challenger. As you all know, I traded my Challenger in because I wanted a convertible, and I went with a 2018 Camaro SS convertible. You guys can see, nice car. I like it so far. 455 horses. You can drop the top, which I will be doing today. Been good to me so far, even though the Challenger was great to me. But this was a custom box I had built for the Challenger with a DB3K sub in it. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can see a little bit better from that side, but that's the sub. 3,000 watts, 1,500 RMS supposedly. Not sure how accurate that is, but sounds good, man. 115 in the truck, sounds great. Ridiculously thick wood. I don't know if you can see this, but I mean, that mounted wood is about that thick. That thick. That's pretty thick for some wood, but as I said, it was a custom made box. It set real good in the trunk of my Challenger, and like I said before, it was really good to me. Sounded good in there, so I went on and put it in here, and sounds just as good. What can I say? So I'm gonna walk y'all through this whole process of me changing out this alternator if I can. I don't usually do these YouTube videos because I know this take longer, but I'm trying to branch out into YouTubes. I do a lot of little mechanic work as well as household work and all kind of different stuff. So why not show you people so y'all can potentially do these same things on your vehicles if you need to, especially if you have the Vortec engine like I have. So I'm gonna step it through the process. Just bear with me. I'm gonna try to find a spot to mount my phone so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna step you through it first. I'm not going to take this shroud off for some people that amateur or just want to do it yourself. Hell, even some women, because I know women that'll get down and they'll change some stuff on their car as well. Sometimes it may be easier to take the upper shroud off, but in this case I'm not going to. I only have a bolt here and I have a bolt there, 2 bolts, and I can lift this alternator up and out the way. May have to pry on it because it is set pins in here that locks the alternator in place. Then I have a bolt on the back, and I have a 1-plug pigtail, and I can essentially pull it off to swap it out. So I'm gonna show you guys the whole step way through, if I can find a good spot to mount my camera without damaging it.